Welcome! Today, Travelling Light is Drinking Light. I will be drinking 16 different low alcohol lagers, beers, stouts and ciders. Which one will win? And if I swap to low alcohol beer at home, how many calories will I drop? And over a year, how much money will I save? Will it pay for a cruise? So if you're doing dry January, Stoptober, or just looking to reduce your alcohol consumption to improve your health and wealth, stay tuned until the end when I will reveal my favourite and decide if I will switch to low or zero alcohol. So how did I decide which beers to include? Well, I went to my local Tesco's, Morrison's and Waitrose, which just happened to be the three shops that are nearest to me. So it was just what was available and what's in the shops ready to purchase today. So hopefully these brands should be somewhere near you. Giles, why do you want to swap to low alcohol beer, is what I can hear you asking. Well, at the moment, it's December, it's the very start of December, we've got Christmas, we've got New Year, and I've also got a holiday coming up. So I definitely want to detox and I need to reduce my alcohol consumption for 2024 to see if I can save some money to save up for another holiday. So let's see how we go. So why have we done it in 4 rounds of 4? Well, it's to be like a football tournament. The reality is though, I've only got 4 matching glasses, so 4 rounds of 4 it is. So here we are for round 1. We've got Carlsberg, we've got Stella, we've got San Miguel and Birra Moretti. These are beers you're likely to find in your local pub. They're going to be easy for you to get. So we'll start off just by pouring them and we'll see what they pour like and what colour they come out as. So this is Carlsberg. It says on the back, probably the best beer in the world. We'll see, shall we? I'm not going to pour a full glass. There we go. It looks like beer. It's got a reasonable head on it at the moment. We'll see how they do after a couple of minutes. Stella. The head disappears quite quickly on the Stella. Initially, not quite as good, I would suggest. San Miguel. I am trying to pour them in the same way, so it makes it fair. If you notice any difference in my pouring though, let me know in the comments. Okay, so the head has pretty much disappeared now on the Carlsberg. It's totally gone on the Stella. We'll give these two a couple of minutes, although the Birra Moretti, the head has gone on that. So in terms of the head lasting, I think the San Miguel wins that one. So that's an interesting starting point. They're sort of similar colours. Maybe these two are a little bit darker and these two are a little lighter. But the proof of the pudding's in the eating, so let's go for we'll do it with smell first. That certainly smells like a lager. Not unpleasant. Not so much of an aroma with the Stella. No, or that one, Birra Moretti. Oh, that's sort of a more fruity, citrusy smell. So I think in terms of aroma, my favourites are these two on the end, with these two not having too much of an aroma. Now I'm not expecting that they're going to taste exactly like lager. I don't think by taking the alcohol out it's a fair comparison, but is it drinkable? Is it something that you'd have of a night with a bag of crisps or something and just instead of a normal lager? So let's see. Carlsberg first. It's not unpleasant. When the low alcohol beers first came out, they were not particularly nice. I think I remember Caliber being one of them and trying it and thinking this is just disgusting. But it's not an unpleasant taste. It's very light, but there's not much to it. I think it's easy. It would be easy to drink, but there's not much depth to the flavour. Maybe a little watery. Right, the Stella. A little bit more taste than that one. It's still very light. It's refreshing. Again, not much depth of flavour. I'm not getting too many notes of anything in particular. However, I think I prefer the Stella to the Carling so far. Right. Now the San Miguel. There's a little bit more complexity to the San Miguel. I'm getting more of a warm taste, a warm sensation, so it's a little bit more like there's alcohol in that one. And probably more of an interesting taste to these two. Yeah, I think this one is the best. I might be going backwards and forwards between them. And let's try the Birra Moretti. I can taste the citrusy flavours that I was able to smell. So in terms of the aroma matching the taste, the Birra Moretti does match up quite well. There's not a great deal between them. I really am picking at the margins. They're all drinkable. None of them are repulsive. I think that my preferred option, and this is personal taste obviously, is going to be the Birra Moretti. I don't mind a sort of light citrusy hoppy taste in beers, and I think that that sort of hits the mark for me. I'm going to have another check just to make sure that I'm being completely fair to the other ones and I didn't clean my palate between beers, etc. After the second tasting, definitely the Birra Moretti is the winner for this round, and this will be going through to the next round to determine which is the overall favourite. So, sorry guys, you three are in second, third and fourth place, and Birra Moretti wins through. Time for round two. So this round we've got perhaps some more premium lagers. It's basically Germany against Belgium. We've got Klausthaler, a dry hopped beer. We've got Leffe, which is a Belgian blonde. We've got Lucky Saint, which is from Bavaria. And Erdinger alcohol free as well, which again is from Germany. So we'll go with what we did last time, and we will go for the pour and see how the heads hold up. Again, I'm going to try to pour them at the same angle and the same amount, just to see what the heads do. So the Leffe, the Klausthaler, the head seems to be going quite quickly on that one. Might not have been an entirely fair test, only pouring a small amount in, but you would expect there to be some head that would hold up there. So the heads on those first three have all completely disappeared. The Erdinger, we'll come back to that in a bit, but I think that is disappearing fast. So again, we'll go for the aromas and the smells, see if anything's particularly appealing. It smells quite fresh, but I'm not getting any really deep tastes. Might be a bit of hoppiness, but no other taste apart from that. So this is the Leffe. Yeah, Leffe has a really odd smell to me anyway, the normal Leffe. My son says it smells a bit like sweet corn, and that's something that I can't unsmell or untaste with Leffe, and that's a little bit similar. There's an odd smell to it, and I'm not sure if I personally like that. Right, Lucky Saint. Oh, it's a little cloudy. I don't know if it's a Weiss beer. There is a smell to it, and it's not particularly pleasant. It might work better in the taste, but there's a sharpness to it. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was vinegary, but it's erring towards that side of the spectrum. Erdinger Fry. Let's smell this one. Again, it's a little lagery, nothing particularly strong that I'm getting. Quite inoffensive. So I don't think any of these have particularly captured me with their aroma. The Leffe's probably put me off a little bit, and that one, the Lucky Saint, I'm not quite sure about. I'm getting a little bit nervous, so we'll start again this end, work our way that end, and we'll see what they taste like. There's a bitterness to it and a hoppiness, which is not unpleasant. It's very light. There's no real depth of taste. Again, that's probably what I'd expect with the low and zero alcohol. But there is an interest in that one. That's not unpleasant. And I could certainly drink that one. And come on to the Leffe. And I wasn't quite sure about the smell of Leffe. It's not to my taste. There is a strange aftertaste with it, which I'm sure some people will like. That's not my thing. Lucky Saint. I don't know if you can see, it's not the clearest. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be, if it is a wheat beer or what. Very light, no great depth of taste. That would be like drinking, just, yeah, that's very watery. Again, to my palate. Please let me know in the comments if there's any beers that you really like that are low alcohol that I've missed out in our testing today. I'd be interested to see what other people think. And if you disagree with me with any of these, please again, let's argue in the comments. Erdinger, which is our last one. This is an isotonic one, which always makes me think of Lucasade. That's a little clearer than the last one. Probably lighter in colour than these two. These two look a little darker. That one's quite pale, and this one's palish to amber. There's a sweetness to that one. Again, not unpleasant. So for me, it's between the Klausthaler and the Erdinger Fry. And I think, erring away from the sweetness, because that's not particularly my palate, towards the Klausthaler. Yes, round 2, Klausthaler. Round 3, beers and stouts. Now, spoiler alert, I have tried one of these before and I do like it, but I am prepared for surprises from the 3 that I haven't tried. So, same as before, we'll go for the pour. Starting with the Doom Bar. Let's get the angle of the dangle right. Nice deep colour. Now bitters is more my thing. I don't mind a lager on a hot day, but beer is where I tend to go to. Right, let's have a look at them. So we've got a darkish beer, we've got two that are a little lighter, and obviously the Guinness is going to be very, very dark as a stout. So we'll start with the Doom Bar and go with the aroma. Yeah, you can certainly smell beer. It's relatively faint. It's not at all overpowering. I'm not getting a great deal of smell from that. Maybe a little bit like homebrew that I've made in the past. This is the Adnams Ghost Ship, 0.5%. Ooh, that's very citrusy and hoppy. That might be up my straw. So that smells like something I would like. Ooh. I don't know what that smells like. It's not particularly pleasant. It's like the back of a musty linen basket. That's very odd. And that smells like Guinness. So on to taste. This is probably the most important thing. We'll start with the Doom Bar. So this is a Cornish beer, an amber ale. As is described, a great Moorish amber ale. Okay, let's see if it is Moorish. It's okay, it's very light. There's a slight bitterness to it, but it's not for me. There's a bit of a mustiness to it. I'm not that keen on that one. Adnams, the Ghost Ship. Let's see what this one does. Definite citrusy taste, very light, very refreshing as well. This would be nice on a warm summer's day. I'd prefer that probably over some of the lagers that I tried earlier. That is within my sort of taste. It's sort of quite citrusy and hoppy, so not to everyone's flavour, but that's one that I would definitely consider. I'm a bit worried about this one, the St. Peter's. Let's see. This was a musty linen basket I described it as. That's not pleasant. It leaves a real musty taste as well. There's an aftertaste that comes down your nose that's just not nice. I can't describe it really. I should be able to do a bit better than this. It's like a musty, yeasty sort of taste, and I don't like that one. That won't be coming home with me. Right, Guinness looks like Guinness. It's retained its head better than any of the others. We didn't really look at the heads as they poured, but all the heads have gone. That one's got a little bit of foam still around, and that one, but the Doom Bar is totally gone. So these have retained a little bit of their froth and head down the glass. As you can see, the froth on the Guinness is really nice. It's smooth, it's creamy, it tastes like Guinness. It's obviously not like Guinness because it hasn't got the alcohol in it, but It's as near as damn it. That is a good drink, nice and smooth. The widget works in it. Out of these, definitely not this one. This is last place. Third place is Doom Bar. It's between these two. This is lovely and citrusy. I would drink that in the summer. But number one is the Guinness. I would drink this all year round. It's a really good substitute if you like Guinness. Obviously Guinness is an acquired taste. If stouts isn't your thing, the Ghost Ship is definitely number 2 out of this third section. The winner, Guinness Zero. We're now on to round 4, and this is the ciders. I do like a cider occasionally. It's not my drink of choice, but I think with zero alcohol cider, should you just have an apple ties or an apple juice? I don't know. Let's see and taste them and decide whether it's going to be apple juice or cider, or whether any of these or which one will make the final. We'll start off with quite a well-known brand, Thatcher's. Nice bit of fizz there. I'm not expecting that these will retain a head, as I would with the beers and the lagers. This one is Sheppy's, a low alcohol classic cider, 0.5%. That's a very light coloured one. This is Waitro's own brand, and it's a low alcohol, which is 1%, rather than at 0.05 or 0.5%. So there's a little bit of strength to that one. I do wonder if that will make any difference whatsoever. And this is Galipette Juste Pomme, non-alcoholic, 0% in volume. So colour-wise, there are similarities. This is definitely the blondest one. We'll start with the Thatcher's and we'll do the aroma tests. I'm not getting apples particularly. Maybe a faint trace, not really a strong taste of apple. Same with that one, not too much of an aroma. A little bit more with the Waitrose one. Can definitely smell more appley smells. Ooh, and that one I'm getting a real sweet appley smell with that the Galipette. It's all down to the taste though. So Thatcher's, let's see what we think of this one. That's fine. It's not unpleasant. There's no aftertaste. That's pleasant. I could definitely drink a nice cool glass of that on a hot day. The Sheppy's, low alcohol, so a very blonde and pale looking cider. Again, it's fine. It's inoffensive. It's refreshing. Not too much to say about either of those two. The Waitrose 1% own brand. It's more of a sweetness to that one. I probably prefer dry cider myself. Maybe a little bit too sweet for me. I'm probably drawn to those two a little bit more at the moment, but there is more of an appley taste to the Waitrose one. And the Galipette, gosh, that's very sweet. That is too sweet for me. That's very sugary. This is a tough one because these two smell the best. They've got real appley flavours, but they seem very sweet and sugary, and that's not to my taste. These didn't smell of a great deal at all, but are probably a little bit drier, which is more to my taste when it comes to to ciders. So if you like a sweet cider, these two are absolutely fine, and this one is really sweet. I'll probably have a look at the sugar contents a little later, but it's going to be down to these two for myself. I think it's the Sheppy. The Sheppy is going to be my #1 choice, and this was from Tesco's, £1.50. So here they are, the final four. We've got England, Ireland, Germany and Italy. It could almost be like the football, couldn't it, this? But who's going to win? Which one is going to be my choice of beer to take forward into the next 12 months and see how much I could save? Well, I've got to say, I started to look at other things outside the flavours and the aromas, and Birra Moretti comes out at a massive £5.54 a litre at the moment. So for that reason, I am going to discount that into last place. In third place, it is going to be the cider, which, whilst it was perfectly pleasant and was nice and dry, which is to my palate, it didn't have too much complexity. There was not particularly an interesting flavour to it. Fine as a refreshing drink on a warm day. That would be perfectly adequate. But outside of that, it was just okay, but better than the other ciders. So that leaves the Guinness and the Klausthaler. Obviously very different. One's a stout, one's a lager. Again, looking at the prices, the Guinness comes out at £2.84 and the Klausthaler is £4.10 for a litre. So significantly more expensive. Is this worth the extra expense? Absolutely not. It's fine, there's some interesting flavours to it, but compared to the Guinness, I'm afraid the Guinness is really nice. It's very smooth. It's a superb replica of Guinness. Obviously, you're missing the alcohol, but again, it's a good substitute for zero alcohol. Oh, if you're interested, the Sheppy's is £3.20 a litre. So again, that's reasonably priced, but not as well priced as the Guinness. And looking at the online reviews, because I was thinking, you know, is this just going to be my personal choice, or do other people agree with me? The Guinness scores a massive on Tesco's and Waitrose, 4.8 and 4.9 in their 5-star ratings. So a lot of people are absolutely loving the Guinness. However, these four are only here because of the way that I structured it in doing the 4 categories. So would these 4 have made it to the final? Actually, no. The Birra Moretti wouldn't have got through, so I will exclude that one. And the Sheppy's wouldn't have got through to my final 3. So that one goes out. Which one would have been my #2, do you think? Because it would have displaced the Klausthaler Lager, and it's the Ghost Ship. Nice, citrusy, fresh beer. So this would have been my 1, 2, 3. But if I decide to drink Guinness for the rest of the year, how much will I save? Well, the answer is very simple. Absolutely nothing. The Guinness is actually exactly the same price as the normal Guinness. So I'm going to have to look elsewhere for my savings and my saving up for a cruise or whatever it is that I want to do. Unfortunately, by cutting down on alcohol, I'll improve my health. I might even improve my waistline and get rid of a little bit of this gut, but my wallet is unfortunately going to remain as small as it ever has. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more travelling light content, which is often travel related, like and subscribe here. If you would like to see more videos, you might like to check this one out. Thanks a lot for watching. You take care. Have a good day. Happy drinking.